What's going on, guys? Happy Monday. We have a little bit of Jaguars news kind of finally come out, and that's that apparently the Jaguars are potentially interested in trading left guard Andrew Norwell. Apparently that the Jaguars did ask him to kind of reduce his contract, and it looks like the two sides are kind of working on that. But if something doesn't come through where the two sides do not agree, then there's a good chance that he actually might get traded. Which is interesting. First of all, it is interesting from the perspective that Andrew Norwell is like one of 3 players that have actually played under Urban Meyer. One of them being, or on the Jaguars, of course, one of them being Lurton McCray, back when he was on Florida. And also, Devon Hamilton, I think, played with him for like a year or 2 at Ohio State. So really, like, he's the most tenured guy that's actually played with Urban Meyer, so there is a little bit of familiarity with there, I feel like. But also the Jaguars are in a position that, man, they have the most cap room in the NFL. And, you know, especially like we're looking at bringing in a young quarterback, obviously Trevor Lawrence. And my number one priority this offseason is to, you know, protect him at all costs. And Andrew Norwell, he signed a huge deal in the 2018 offseason. Obviously, he didn't live up to that contract, but I think over the years, he's been getting a little bit better. And this last season, he was actually the best. It was his best season as a Jaguar. You know, so I sit here, I'm like, okay, we have a lot of money, and I'm in a position where, like, I am not really, I feel like we're not in a situation where I really want to cut good players or trade good players and just create holes at the position. I don't know if they're looking to upgrade. Obviously, like, Thuney is probably the top guard on the market. But, you know, I would think that, you know, we have so many holes on this roster. First of all, the biggest one is left tackle, as Cam Robinson is heading into free agency, so that leaves a big hole at that position, where pretty much the guy slotted to start there at the moment is Will Richardson, which, you know, I highly doubt he will be there, whether we draft the guy or whether we sign a guy, whatever. Obviously, I'd rather go the veteran route at the position, and I think that they will fill the need in free agency. I just think that it's very irresponsible to go into the NFL draft with that big hole at left tackle, because you have all this money, and you also have a lot of draft picks. But man, if you don't fill up the left tackle position, then you're, you know, pigeonholing yourself into saying, okay, we have to draft a left tackle at either pick number 25 or number 33. And then at that point, it's like, you know, you might be losing out on some value because some, you know, guys that might be, you know, top 12 on your board might be there at pick number 25, but, you know, you're forced to get like the 4th or 5th best left tackle as some of them kind of fall off the board. So I think that's a little bit irresponsible. Now, Andrew Norwell does happen to be the highest paid Jaguar right now. I believe it's like $15 million again on the cap, and I think if you cut him, you save like $9 million on the cap, so it kind of releases stuff like that. But obviously the big thing is, like, you know, the most valuable thing to do is to actually trade him if you want to, you know, save that dead cap money. You know, you're better off like trading, you know, that's the great thing about, you know, even if you trade him, get like a 7th round pick, the big thing is that you save the dead money. You know what I mean? Like you'd be able to, as opposed to cutting him where you're saving $9 million, you get to trade him and save $15 million on the cap. So it gives you a little bit more, you know, spending ability to spend. But, you know what I mean? It's strange because he's coming off of his best year. The Jaguars have some stuff to address on the offensive line. Obviously, right tackle Juwan Taylor regressed, but, you know, you can pretty much pin him in to start next year, I would feel like. A.J. Cann at right guard, seems like he'll be there forever. Brandon Linder at center. And then, you know, who's going to be left guard and left tackle now? And then, I mean, I would rather in this situation, I would rather do something about, I don't know, but I mean, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, what if they were to move Brandon Linder to left guard and then have Tyler Shatley played center? Because I think Tyler Shatley, he played well enough last year in reserve duty where, you know, he might be able to sign somewhere to start. You know what I mean? He might actually be able to start, you know, be a legit starter somewhere based off his production from last year. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. maybe the Jaguars go out there and bring in like Thuney, the next big guy, but I don't know. I'm a little bit less, I guess really after the Andrew Norwell thing, after signing him, I'm a little bit more hesitant on signing left guards to big money. And I'd rather just invest in a left tackle spot, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully at the end of the day, Andrew Norwell decides to take somewhat of a pay cut. I don't know. A lot of times what they do is they hide a lot of the cap hit onto a signing bonus, which Shad Khan, having all the money that he does, you know, he's pretty good at this and he can kind of afford to do this, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think will happen, what you guys want to happen. I'd love to know kind of your thoughts of the situation. And with all that said, thanks for watching. Go Jags.